pay attention to the latest gossip and be on the blogs, then you can pay attention to your budget. Look, as quickly as come, as quickly as go. And now it's time to make for sure that you understand where your money is going at all times and making sure that every dollar is accounted for. Whatever you thought budgeting was, get that out your mind so I can teach you on how to budget, how I became debt free, how I built over $1 million real estate portfolio. Let's go. YouTube, and welcome to Your Success Stories. I'm your girl Nika Johnson, and I'm gonna help you get there. I am a credit coach and budgeting expert, and I help people take control of their money. And today we'll be talking about the basics of budgeting. That's right, whatever you thought budgeting was, get that out your mind so I can teach you on how to budget, how I became debt free, how I built over $1 million real estate portfolio. Let's go. Listen, if you can pay attention to the latest gossip and be on the blog, then you can pay attention to your budget. Look, as quickly as come, as quickly as go. And now it's time to make for sure that you understand where your money is going at all times and making sure that every dollar is accounted for. Two things gonna happen. Your money gonna either control you or you can control it. The choice is yours. All that wishing and hoping for a better job and making more money, listen, if you can't manage $40,000, you ain't gonna be able to manage $100,000.
No way.
So listen up so I can teach you the basics, the easiest way on how to budget. And I'm going to take care of you by the end of this video. And while you're at it, make for sure you like, you comment, and subscribe. And turn on your post notifications and show your girl some love. Before we get started, I just got a couple questions to kind of assess the room to see where you at. I want to just check your little temperature. You know, I want to just, is it getting hot in here?
So hot in here.
Question, if I asked you, do you know how much money you make? If I asked you how much is your expenses, could you tell me? And a lot is not just a number. If I ask you where your money is going and you say the bills, I'm sorry, that ain't an answer. And don't say to these damn kids either. Better yet, do you know how much debt you have? How you sit up here trying to pay off debt, but you don't even have a starting point to realize where you're working at? You working backwards? So you just gonna be paying off stuff blindly and blind, huh? That's what you wanna do? I'm sorry, baby, that ain't gonna work. We need to know, what are we doing? How much is your income? How much is your monthly expenses? How much is your savings? Do we have a savings? What is the savings goal that we have in mind? How much is your debt, for crying out loud?
Huh?
We need to know these things so we can be able to make for sure that we are allocating these items when it comes to our budget so we can be able to reach our goals. So you can be Netflix and chilling, because right now, baby, it's not in your budget. It's time to pick up another job or two and pay off that debt, because right now it's controlling you. This is why you can't have a peace of mind. This is why you tossing and turning. This is why you avoiding unknown calls and solicitors. This is why you don't like checking your mail. Ooh, is it getting hot in here yet? I feel it. It's getting real steamy. But I'm gonna teach you the simplest ways on how to budget. But if you identify with any of those type of questions that I just simply asked you, there's no reason why you should not be budgeting. I was able to pay off over $40,000 in debt in a two-parent household income with less than $100,000. If I can do it, you can too. If you didn't know any of those answers, a budget is what you need. The scary thing that y'all like to avoid, have you ever heard of something so bad it just gave you diarrhea of the mouth? That's what budget does to some folks sometimes. It's okay. But that B-U-D-G-E-T is gonna make sure you B-A-L-L-I-N. Okay? We want to be balling to the bank. We need to make for sure we budgeting, because we don't want to be broke no more, and we gonna quit saying and claiming being broke. Look, there's so much power in the tongue. Speak power over your finances. It may not be in your budget, but one day it is, and a budget is going to help you get a step closer to your financial goals, so you could be driving off the lot in your dream car, so you could be living in your dream casa, your house, my house. Go ahead and invite me over. I like tacos and tequila too, by the way. You could be able to take that dream vacation that you've been dying to go on, and you ain't gotta take the babies either, or you could take them too, so you can show them around the world. Put a passport in your budget. We can have the life that we want, but it starts with managing our finances, because as quickly as come, as quickly as goes, and it's not about how much money you make, but manage the money you do make. So it's time to have the uncomfortable conversations, and that scary little B word, I ain't talking about what's my favorite word. What's my favorite word, bitch? I'm talking about budgeting. New month, new goals, new budget. Sometimes you go over and sometimes you go under. But don't give up. Just put one foot before the other and just keep going. Let's make sure that we're making those slight edge adjustments each month when it comes time to budgeting. People think budgeting is hard and that is going to restrict you. And honestly, it's only going to empower you. That's right. It's going to empower you to live the life that you want. So you can be financially free and not financially broken. What is the budget? A budget is an allocated plan to control your money that helps you pay your bills on time, pay off your debt, and rebuild your savings. A budget is going to help you go from the red to the green. It's going to help you go from overdraft to positive accounts. It goes from no savings to a savings. Y'all know one thing always happened after the other. And what could you do if you was better off and financially prepared to be able to have a savings? Just take a look at some of my client testimonials of how much money I have been able to help them save and just getting their finances in order. Make sure you stay tuned to the very end. There's so many ways that you could be able to budget. You may not be computer savvy. If you are, you could do a Excel document. If not, if you're going to take it old school, go ahead and get that pen and that pad because you could do it that way too. Or if you tech savvy, get an app. But I'm not doing no recommendations because that ain't even in the budget either. If we focus on paying off debt, quit trying to add them little small subscriptions, add in more debt. It's the easiest way, simplest way, pen and pad. Get a piece of paper and literally it could just be taking your income minus your expenses, seeing what that difference is. And while we at it, there's so many different ways on how people are explaining how to budget. You got the 50-30-20 rule. You got the pay yourself. You got the cash envelope. Look, all it took was somebody to steal $20 from me back in high school. I never carried cash ever since. Now tip, you should always at least carry $20 in your car just in case if there was every emergency or if you ever ran out of gas, you left your wallet at home and you have that available. Just a little slight plug. Whatever it is, let's throw them all out. That's right. Throw them all out, take them to the trash can, and I'm gonna teach you on how to do a zero-based budget. That's right. I want your income minus your expenses to equal zero. That's right, zero-based budget. And we wanna make for sure that we have a savings goal while we're at it. Just because you have debt, that does not mean I don't want you saving money. If you know me, you know I always say, always pay yourself first. Don't go work a 9 to 5, don't pay yourself first. At the bare minimum, have $1,000 in emergency funds. For now, we're gonna make for sure we're budgeting so we can take control of this debt. Now let's go ahead and start budgeting. How do we do it and where do we start? It starts now. All right, so when we start budgeting, we want to make for sure we are taking our total monthly household income. So any overtime, commission, or bonuses, any child support, separate maintenance income, whatever sources of income that you're getting, we want to make for sure we are document this in our income. This is our take home, okay? Make for sure that we are taking an average. So if your income fluctuates, if it's irregular, make for sure that you are taking that average income ultimately. Now, any excess income that you have, you can always allocate that more towards debt, but we want to be able to just have just a starting point. So let's do income 1. Let's say for a rough estimate, $3,000 a month. Okay, so no additional income. Make for sure that you're doing this at the same time because I want to see where we're at when it comes to our budgeting. So here you're going to either have your mortgage or your rent, electricity, water and sewage, gas, any of that. So let's go ahead, keep going. So make sure you include all of that. You got groceries. Sometimes people are adding this together, sometimes it's not. So you have your household items and then you have household supplies. And basically your household supplies is going to include your toiletries, or you're going to have plug-ins, any cleaning, any detergent, things like that, things that's for your household. So think about your household supplies. Then you got fast food. Fast food is going to be people's biggest expense. It's so easy to just go through a drive-thru instead of planning your meals. But one way to be able to save thousands of dollars is simply planning your meals. If you need help, go ahead down below and click our meal calendar. It is on sale. And this is a variety of 30 plus different meals and ideals because honestly, I feel like people are getting burnt out by cooking the same thing. So you want to mix it up. Look on YouTube, look on Pinterest, chat GPT some recipes, do whatever it is. But get creative and make for sure that you're cooking at home because you want to be able to make for sure that we're saving money and that we're in our budget ultimately. So you have your car note, you got gas, car insurance. All right, now at this time, let's go ahead and take a brief pause. Make for sure you pause this video. That's right. I'm not saying not budget. We're not going to not continue. You're going to do this right now because how often have you been putting off doing a budget? How many times you keep saying you're going to do it and you have not done it? So you should have did it yesterday and you didn't. So we're going to do it today. You should have did it a long time ago. But ain't no judgment. No judgment zone. No flex.
No flex zone.
Hey, all right, let's go ahead and get into it. So take this time and I want you to go ahead and do your budget. More than likely, I got a trick up my sleeve and I'm gonna just give you a couple minutes and I'll come back and check in with you. Back and I just want to kind of go through your budget to see what are some different things that you may have missed by chance. All right, so as you can see, there's a lot more things. Let's just go ahead and see if you miss anything off the list by chance. From your fast food to your car note, and not only your car note, you need gas to get around. This is what I mean by a zero-based budget because you want to make for sure every dollar is accounted for. So if you're spending $50 in gas each week, that's 50 times 4, that's $200 a month. That should be a line item in your monthly budget. You see what I'm doing? I hope this is making sense and making it a little bit easier. So if you have personal care, things like that, everything needs to be in your budget. So let's kind of go through a quick glance from your car note to your gas to your car insurance to your internet. Okay, do you got cable? If you don't have cable, is there streaming services that you may have? Every dollar need to be accounted for. Just because you got rid of cable doesn't mean those small subscriptions not going to add up. House phone, or if you got a cell phone, or cell phones. Nowadays, a lot of kids have phones. From your pet care to your personal care to entertainment to insurance to medical, taxes, miscellaneous. Basically, I want to make for sure that you write this down completely. Again, make it easy as possible. We want to make budgeting simple. It does not have to be hard. It does not have to be complicated. One of the questions I'm always asked, Nika, how do I budget? Okay, if I asked you, do you remember what you ate last week? Could you? No. Do you remember what you ate last month? So this is why you should budget every day. Take 2 to 3 minutes each day and budget. That's by just logging into your online banking, checking your bank accounts, checking your credit card statements, making sure your bills is paid on time, and just making sure that you're within your budget. You can even track your expenses every day. There's so many different ways to budget. If you need more, go ahead and make sure you click the link below. So let's go ahead and go through this just a little bit more. You have your transportation, modes of transportation. How are you going to get around? Is it going to be a bus? Is it going to be a train? Are you riding a bike, a motorcycle, a car? Are you Ubering? Are you walking? Whatever that may look like, what is your mode of transportation? And what is the cost associated with that? You always want to make for sure you got full coverage, even if it's an older vehicle. Do not have liability. That is the worst insurance that you could ever have because liability is not going to protect you in the other driver. Make for sure you do your due diligence and go ahead and fact check that as well. But what type of insurance do you have? When you're talking about insurance, you got health insurance for your medical. Do you have any type of co-pays associated with that? Do you have life insurance? Look, you need to make for sure that we are planning for the unexpected. Do you have any type of renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance? Renter's insurance is super cheap. You can be able to get a bundle deal with your car insurance provider. You could do life insurance, you could do rent insurance, homeowner insurance. You can go through the same company and have that one payment. That also helps you to just have that peace of mind. But there's so many different types of insurance. You can even have pet insurance. Budgeting could seem quite overwhelming and intimidating, but it's not. I just want you to take a deep breath. If you got time to be on social media streets, you got time to budget and pay attention to your finances too. Other types of things in your budget, it could be from your hair, your mani, your pedi, your waxes, your lashes, your bundles, whatever it is. Make for sure it's in the budget and accounted for. If you have your kids, how often do you get their hair done? Make for sure that you have any extracurricular activities, their gym memberships or your gym membership. Whatever that personal care organization does, make for sure you have that in there. Entertainment, is it going to be vacations? Is this date nights? Things like that. How often are you treating yourself or to a friend? What's that fun money, that miscellaneous money I like to think of? How often do you buy yourself flowers?
I can buy myself flowers.
How often do you buy a new book or invest into certain things? And one thing I'm gonna tell y'all, your entertainment budget should not be more than your education budget. What I mean by that, make for sure you always stimulating your mind, educating yourself, and you're educating yourself now. So give yourself a pat on the back. or give yourself a hug. But you want to make sure you have that accounted for too. I mean, childcare, a nanny, a maid. I used to get my house cleaned. I'm gonna put that back in the budget once I get some things taken care of. But any licensing, tax, anything like that, add it into your budget. If it's the annual expense, you could divide that by 12 and be able to allocate that into an account to be prepared for that, so you're not feeling blindsided or unexpected or anything like that. Look, this is budgeting made easy. I want to make for sure budgeting is easy for you. Anybody should be able how to do a budget. You want to make for sure every dollar is accounted for. What I mean by that, if you have $5,000 in monthly income, you want to make for sure you have $5,000 in monthly expenses. Why? Because this is going to give you a zero-based budget. If you probably forgot some things, so won't you grab our ebook, Ways to Save Money? So it could go over different types of subscriptions that you may have missed out from your gym membership, your massage, or a lot of things that you don't even realize that you're utilizing. But look at those subscriptions. If you need help, reach out. I would love to be able to assist you to get you one step closer to being in your budget. Now remember, a budget is made for you, not for me, not for your neighbor. It's made for you. It's your budget, so make it work for you. Now, we're not just done yet. What I want you to do is now add in your debts. What I mean by that is if you have any type of debts, I want you to add your minimum payments inside your budget so we can make for sure that is being accounted for. Let's go ahead and do an example so you can know how to do this. So I always recommend starting with the smallest balance and work your way to the largest. So this will be credit card 1, minimum payment, let's say $35, balance is $500. If you want to do a credit card limit, you could add that, and then if there's any type of promotion such as 0% interest or anything like that. So this is just an example. So then you have credit card 2, and then let's say this minimum payment is $55. This credit card is $675, and you have a minimum, you have a credit limit of maybe $900. There's no current promotions. So basically, you see what I'm doing. You're just going to keep going down the list and put in your actual credit card. So let's say this minimum payment is $100. This balance is $1,500. This is just for example purposes. And let's say the credit card limit is $1,500, so you're over limit. Well, excuse me, you're at your max limit. So basically, this is what you want to do is in that budget, you want to add in your monthly minimum payments. The total monthly payments for that month is going to be $190. If you have any excess of income, so how we budget, we take your income minus your expenses to get zero. So any difference of your income, you just want to allocate that difference to the smallest monthly balance. And so you can allocate more towards that first credit card because it has a lower balance. Once that's paid off, you can work your way. Now, I hope this information you enjoyed. Make sure you like, you comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications and show your girl some love. A budget doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be a little sexy. Put a little razzle dazzle. Do what makes you happy. Ultimately, do what works best for you because it is your budget and you want to have fun. You don't want to dread it. Get excited. Get motivated. Find an accountability partner. But make sure you leave your comments that you may have in regards to this video. But the reason why you want to be able to budget is because it's going to be able to give you that peace of mind. It helps minimize late payments. It's going to help quit overdrawing your account and using courtesy pay and Afterpay and Klarna and all those types of apps and services. Okay, put it in your checkout and then you make the payment arrangements. It was like, it's only $25. No, baby, it was $100. You're just making 4 payments of $25. So you just want to make for sure that you could do some things, not all things, and you're positioning yourself so you don't have to sacrifice for the rest of your life. Being able to budget is going to help you eliminate some of those banking fees. It will help eliminate those banking fees. You just have to have discipline. That's it. Just have discipline and know that you don't have to spend the rest of your life struggling. And it's going to help you pay off your debt and reach your financial goals faster. Who want to be in a budget? Because I know I do. So just a tip, as a business owner, I would recommend going through all your subscriptions on your personal finances and your business finances and go ahead and start eliminating some of those services that you are not utilizing. This is going to allow us to get one step closer to paying off our debt and reaching our financial goals. And while you're at it, make for sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. I hope this helps you. Again, I'm your girl Nika Johnson with Budget to Success. We are budgeting our way to success. What does that mean? Only you can define the level of success you desire through budgeting, savings, and credit. So if you want to get to your bag, you gotta start with the budget, baby, because ain't nothing sexier than a budget. And if you around some folks that be like, oh, I don't budget, well, they ain't really got their finances in order, because I don't care if you're rich rich, you're poor. If you got long money, short money, you want a budget to be mindful of where your finances and your money is going, okay? I hope you guys start budgeting. Budgeting has allowed me to be financially successful, and I have had some huge accomplishments. If you don't believe me, just go ahead and Google your girl, all right? Before we get out of here, I just got one question for you. Are you in your budget? If not, you better be.